Hello, everybody. My name is Bart Kallewaert. I'm working in the Opsys Change Management team. So we'll present you a small video that explains the transition to the new MFF and what has to be done at the end of the year and the beginning of the next year. What we will cover in this presentation, this pyramid shows as well the way it is organized and what will be covered. So we cover basic acts, indicative program documents, actions or commitment level 1s, contracts or commitment level 2s, and payments. Here you have the indicative timeline of the MFF releases in Opsys. In December, there will be a release for the basic act management. It is expected that in January, there will also be a release for programming. And in March of next year, the action management and the commitment level 1 management will also be released. Then from April on and progressively, there will be releases of other contract procedures, and this will depend on the stability of Opsys. And for June, the releases will be provided to do the mid-year forecasting exercise. So let's have it about the basic acts for external actions in the medium financial framework 21-2027. The main basic act is this of Neighborhood Development and International Cooperation Instrument, or NDICI. And it's good to know that if we look back to the last MFF, this will merge DCI, EDF, INI, and EFSD. And also, very important for this instrument, that all countries are eligible in some way. Then we have the instrument for pre-accession 3, IPA 3, and some other instruments of minor importance. And in Opsys, DEFCO R4 will encode these basic acts and their data, the amounts concerned, so that in the next phase, the programming exercise can be done in Opsys. Concerning this medium-term indicative programs, this exercise has been launched since some time by a communication to the delegations, and it is expected that by the end of January, February, there are already drafts of this indicative programs prepared by the delegations. At some time, these documents will be transmitted to ARES, into the headquarters with ARES. Once they are approved, the geographic and eventually thematic units at headquarters will encode this information in Opsys, but it is still to be discussed whether eventually delegations can also encode this information. For NDICI, different implementation modes are possible, budget support, technical assistance, and other kind of procurement contracts and grants, blending and guarantees for sovereign lending, and public and private investment. So this is a new element that also blending is part of NDICI and also the guarantees. This gives you some template of the way that the budget will be presented of the indicative program. So in principle, every delegation will have 3 priority areas, and for each priority areas, 2 sectors in terms of DAC sectors of 3 digits can be selected with their respective amount. And then some support measures can be added to the budget in order to have a total for the initial period. So what will happen with the riders on existing commitment level 1s? This will be done in CRIS as before, so there is no change for the management of CL1s. You have to know that NDICI is on the budget of the European Union, and it is a multi-annual budget provision, but as any instrument of the budget of the European Union, there are annual budget appropriations for commitment level 2s and payments. So this means that forecasting is a very important exercise. So let me comment on what you have here on the left concerning the commitment level 2 deadlines. So a level 1 commitment can be a GN type, and if that is the case, you have to commit your level 2 commitments by the end of the next year. If it is a type of GF commitment level 1, then you have to sign your finance agreement by the end of the next year to this commitment level 1. And once this finance agreement is signed, you have 3 years to commit your commitment level 2s. There is in fact no change in the way this is working, but for task managers that are used to the EDF, it has to be borne in mind. Also important is to know that we have a number of statuses in the commitment level 2. So you can have a planet contract, and a planet contract in fact does not lead to any aggregation. So there is it's not taken into account in the budget provisions. But once you have forecasted, there is an aggregation of all the amounts that are forecasted, and they can be taken in account in the budget provisions. If you have commitment level 2, which is in status of reserved, it cannot be used by another commitment level 2. In CRIS, this corresponds to the status of decided. Once you have committed, there is effective budget consumption, and in CRIS, this corresponds to engaged. So this means that forecasting is very important, and let's go now what will happen for the level 1 commitments as concerning forecasting. So if you have a new decision, a new commitment level 1, you have first to encode it in CRIS at status of PO, and from that moment you will be able to forecast the amounts of this commitment level 1 in a BPC or MIS. Concerning the action document for NDICI, it will take some time before the programming documents will be approved, but as soon as this is possible, you can prepare an action document in OPSIS, but before you can do it, you should have in CRIS a decision at PO level. In CRIS, you don't have to forward the visa of this decision. The visa chain will be done in OPSIS. Financial forecasting in BPC and MIS for contracts and payments will be done in BPC and MIS, at least for the exercise of January. For the exercise of June, it is expected that it will be done in OPSIS. Then important also is to unreserve the amount of the request for services. Why is this important? Especially by the end of this year, there may be some competition on certain budget lines for the amounts that have to be committed. So if you reserve an amount, this amount cannot be used by another request for services. So before the end of the year, and if you're suppose that your request for services will not be committed by the end of the year, it is recommended to unreserve here in OPSIS in the commitment forecast tab of the Planet contract. For call for proposals and grants, there is no really change. So in the eCalls prospect at the left side here, you will enter your guidelines, and once you have entered all the documents, the call will be published in the Europe 8 site as it is for the moment. Once you have finished the evaluation, all the beneficiaries should be registered in PDM. They can do that through the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal. And finally, the contracting will be done as in the past in CRIS. With respect to call for tenders, it has been communicated that you need to prepare a Planet contract in OPSIS before you start your call for tenders in PPMT. So this reference, planning reference, will be used in PPMT, where you will encode all the data of the call for tenders. Then there will be publication of the call on the Funding and Tender portal and no more in the Europe 8 site. Your economic operators that have identified an interesting call will find in the information available a link to e-tendering, and in e-tendering they will find a link to the contract notice that is also published in Tenders Electronic Daily. What about specific contracts? So here there is no change for the moment. We have 5 framework contracts: SIA 2018, BSF 2019, Audit 2018, EVA 2020, and Event 2020, which are in OPSIS managed as from the beginning to the end. This means that the request for services is managed in OPSIS, then the contract preparation is managed in OPSIS, and finally the amendments are also initiated and managed in OPSIS. With regard to other contracts, amendments are managed in CRIS, and all new contracts are also created in CRIS. Finally, with regard to payments, only pre-financing for the 5 mentioned framework contracts are done in OPSIS from end to end, and all other payments are done directly in ABAC. So this was our presentation. Thank you for watching. And of course, we'll come back as soon as we have other information.